Strangers suddenly crying when approaching hanging coffin, creepy explanation. Why do people suddenly burst into uncontrollable tears when approaching hanging coffins? It's not emotion. It's a mysterious phenomenon that has forced many tourists to leave Sagada immediately. The Igorot people believe that some spirits have the ability to communicate with the human mind, especially those who are sensitive or have experienced great loss. When a lonely soul senses that someone can hear their sadness, they transmit their emotions through breath, wind, and sound, causing the living person to be possessed. Village elders say that it's the cry of their ancestors, wanting to say something they didn't have time to say when they were alive. No one should laugh when this happens, because you might have just been chosen to fulfill an unfinished promise from the afterlife. The hanging coffin cliff is forbidden to touch. Why? You think it's just a normal cliff? Don't be foolish enough to touch it. The Igorot people strictly forbid outsiders from touching the cliffs with hanging coffins. Not only out of respect for the dead, but because the cliffs have become spiritual bodies that contain spiritual energy. Legend has it that each rock where the coffins are hung is a connection point between the living world and the underworld. A touch can disrupt the spiritual flow, even awakening souls that have not yet been released. Some people do not believe, have tried to touch it, and recount that they were haunted by strange dreams, hearing the dead calling their names. To avoid offending the spirits, the natives often make offerings before approaching. For them, this is not just a rock, but a fragile border between two worlds. Hearing a gentle knock on the cliff at night, who is calling from the dark? The knocking sound in the middle of the night on the cliff is absolutely no joke. Tourists who have camped near the hanging coffin area have recounted a creepy phenomenon, a irregular knocking sound echoing from the cliffs, even when there is no one around. The Igorots believe that these are the spirits' way of calling out to the living, either as a warning, a cry for help, or a welcome. The knocks have a strange rhythm, not at all like the sound of falling rocks or animals. In particular, if you hear 3 consecutive knocks, they believe that it is a sign that the spirits want you to leave that place immediately. Many people did not listen and have had bad luck after their trip. So, if you ever hear knocking in the dark night of Sagada, listen with awe. Fire does not burn near hanging coffin. Fact or legend? The fire suddenly went out when placed near a hanging coffin, a random phenomenon or an invisible force. The Igorots recount many strange cases. The fire did not burn or burned weakly when lit near the cliff where the coffin was. Some people said it was due to strong winds, but the scary thing is, when the fire was moved further away, it burned normally. The shamans believe that the spirits of the dead do not want to be disturbed by light and heat. In some rituals, they also use fire to test the spirit. If the fire burns brightly, the spirit is at rest. If the fire goes out, a bad omen is present. Some visitors who have tried to light a fire nearby have contracted strange diseases or have had repeated accidents. Fire is a symbol of life, but it is also something that the spirit can control if disturbed. Be careful because not all places want to be lit.